I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you be watching this transmission. Hope everyone's doing well out there, and we got people already commenting here. Mike in the night and all live streams, your gaming link has a typo. My gaming link. Oh well. Low Roller Scratcher says, what happened? What happened to the other channel? You still need to post content. You reach 14K subscribers. You got your wish. Mike in the night, all live streams. So there it is. So people are jumping on board to this channel. I can't post on there for another 5 days. So I'll be allowed to post on there in 5 days. So, So Low Roller Scratcher, is the New World Order content giving you community strikes? No, it's just, we'll talk about it on Mike of the Night. We'll talk about that on Mike. I promise I will. And we'll talk about what's happening. It's a hot one. It's really hot. It's like 32 degrees. It's going to reach like 37 in a day or two. And it's a hot one. It's really hot, but we got lots to talk about. I hope everybody's in a good mood out there. I'm gonna push for an hour tonight, and hopefully we get a bit cooler weather in the next day or two. Well, it's gonna get warm. I hope by Saturday for Mike of the Night. I'm getting a lot of messages right now. People asking why I'm not live. It's people from the other channel that don't know, and that don't know. Oh, I missed a call from Alaska Prepper. Let's call him back. See if he picks up. Mike in the nights and all live streams. So what's up with Bitcoin? It's down huge. It is down. It is down. And you know who's pushing it down? It's the Chinese. The Chinese are pushing it down. And obviously federal governments are pushing it down. So no matter how high it goes, it's all, you know what I'm saying, guys? No matter, it could go up to $1 billion, but there's always gonna be people bringing it down because they're not gonna want the average guy to actually make money. God forbid the average man, that goes out on limb and does a lot for his family. And so we got a bit Bitcoin discussion here tonight. So let's go over, let's do a quick channel plug, and we're going to get into big time discussion here. Where is it? Don't mind me, guys. I'm just really hot, so we're going to leave it up to you guys to do the talking tonight. Guys, here's the channel here. I got 131 subscribers. I hope I get 200 subscribers by Christmas. So there it is right there. A couple of important messages here already I posted. Don't forget to set your reminders for Mike in the Night. It's going to be a good one. It's called We the Censored. And here it is here, We the Censored. Don't forget to set your reminders for next Mike in the Night here. Let me put it on full screen here. And don't forget, guys, my store website is up. If you guys want to check it out and buy something, go ahead. If there's any problems with the website, I need to know now. Because I'm going to be shipping the links in the comments there. Pick up something if you want from Teespring, and Facebook is here if you want to message me. You need to follow me on Instagram because that's the only one where I get messages without any problems. We do have a thing. We got questions already in the live chats. We'll get to it right now. And guys, artbydano.com and not your typical art. And donate to the Amerifornia Tour with Lord Humongous and Ralphie.co.New Zealand, where we rebroadcast Mike in the Night shows. All right. Let's find out what's going on in the markets, where are things headed. So, Mike, do you think Canada will have their own crypto? Every country will have a crypto in there. This, I even think Layla believes, and a couple of other people believe, that this is the ushering in of world digital, or a regional digital currency of some sorts. And I think Layla mentioned that, and a couple of other people on the show actually mentioned that. Anna Key saying, "Hey, hi Mike, what a great workaround." Woo! Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not here to be famous, right? So I'm just here to talk to you folk, the people here, and so yeah, Bitcoin's going to be hammered Bitcoin will be hammered because, again, the powers that be, it's the average person, right? Remember, Bitcoin is elimination of the middleman, right? Elimination of the banking cartels, elimination of a lot of things. And that is not good for the banking cartels, right? Wall Street bets won and bought down the hedge fund. Huge woo. Good. Yeah, so low roller scratches that you heard. USA shutting down Iranian website called Press TV. It became China shutting down website now. No, what it is Press TV. I've been following Press TV now for maybe 2 decades. No, I'm not that old. 15 years I've been watching Press TV, and you want to get the angle from that side. You want to get the Press TV angle because you want to see what's happening in the Middle East from the Middle East. I don't want some Yahoo correspondent in some Yahoo office that works for Yahoo telling me what's happening in the Middle East while he drinks his latte, because I don't care what some Yahoo thinks he knows. You know, CJ saying I was waiting on the other channel. Well, thanks for joining us here, CJ. Everyone share this on your social media now. So we're going to be streaming on here, and then when that other channel opens up next week, I'm going to let people know we're going to stream on here, and then I'm just going to say I'm going to share the link on my community section on my other channel if they don't take it down, because they're looking for reasons to shut me down. So, and that's a big issue because I worked very hard to build this platform, but they don't allow people to talk. Okay, so we got, and that's what it's come to. Bill C-10 passed in Canada. We'll be talking about that on Mike in the Night. All right, let's read some headlines. Let's get a caller in before I pass out, because it's really hot. All right, let's open her up here. Let's see what we got here. Look at this beaut. Look at this beaut. Unbelievable Sydney homes going for millions, apostrophe S, in Australian housing boom. Again, this is no new news. This has been happening since 2010 across the Commonwealth. It just got very visible in 2016, and then out of hand in 2017, and then crazy bonkers in 2020. So there it is right there. There's the house. That's a beaut. Oh, is that a drum set in the garbage right there? Looks like someone threw out a perfectly good drum set. That's a pretty good fridge. Why are they throwing that fridge out?
You're talking about all man.
All right. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Look, it even has crown moldings. That's not bad. It had a little fire damage here. Look, a little pizza oven. Millions for this. Wow. Millions. Oh, there's Ricky. So they won't let us read it, but the article's here. Sydney houses with crumbling walls, shredded ceilings, and bathrooms and kitchens stripped off fixtures and getting snapped up for millions as buyers try to grab a slice of Australia's soaring property market. Last week, a derelict brick cottage in the city's northwest sold for $1.6 million. That's $1.2 million American. A price the real estate agent handling the deal said much more than we were expecting. Photos of the property agent's website showed torn carpets, tattered roll-up. I'd be actually embarrassed if I had this house to list this like that. I would be, people would be, wow, you live in that thing? I would be embarrassed to actually list that, but whatever, right? Despite the condition of the house, they attracted nearly by the nearly 500 square meter of land. He said, "Woo! More supply is coming into the market, but there is still heaps of demand." So there it is. It's a lot of money leaving Hong Kong. I don't know how much. I'm having a really tough time finding out where what Australia got from Hong Kong. I know Canada got 42 billion. America got 11.2 billion. And I don't know what New Zealand, Australia, the UK got 55 billion. Money leaving Hong Kong. So UK is number one. I don't know what Australia is. I don't know what New Zealand is. For some reason, I can't find. You know what I'm saying? So we got Layla in the chat. We got CJ. We got Mike. Yeah, Mike says it's no longer about the land, it's about being able to park your money outside of China. And a lot of insiders, okay, a lot of the higher ranking insiders in the Chinese, whether it's for the government or some sort of institutions in China, already knew about what was going to happen in China. So a lot of them started moving out in 2010. A lot of people are saying, well, you got a lot of Asian investing in California going back to the 80s. Yes, you did. Okay, back in the 80s and 90s. And that was a lot of the Hong Kongers and stuff. And yes, California, of all the states, has been hit the hardest with foreign investing. And then I would say New York, and then Washington State, and then Oregon, and then Massachusetts. And that's mainly China, predominantly Chinese, moving their capital out of China, right? What? John McAfee died today? Wow. Okay, it's no longer about the land. It's about being... hi, Layla. Read your Guardian article about angry people. I've experienced it personally and find the story very well accurate. And Layla saying, I have to say it's one reason I'm not in a hurry to return. It's a toxic environment. It truly is a toxic environment. Luckily I live in a small town of 7,000 people, so I could get about 7,000 people hating on me, disliking me, telling me off, and that it's okay, right? But when you got these major cities with 700,000-800,000 people, and everybody just dislikes each other for the sake of them existing, that becomes a major issue. Like, we should talk about this on Mike in the Night. Yeah, these cities are expensive, and it's not all golden sidewalks, paved golden sidewalks, and primrose paths, and beauty, and natural. No. It's hatred spewing everywhere. And I talked about hatred. I talked about the Vancouver glare years ago on this channel. Years. Like, where you're driving in your car, you look over to the guy to your left, and he looks at you like, it's like, what the hell? Like, people would look at you like you burnt their house down with their grandmother in it. And it's disgusting. Peter O'Brien says, I think it mostly CCP, that means Chinese Communist money, in New Zealand. My son knew a lot of the early people here, and they were all CCP affiliated. Well, it is business related. Let's look at John McAfee. John McAfee. Antivirus software creator John McAfee found dead in Spanish jail. Why wasn't he in Spanish jail for? Why? What? McAfee, antivirus software creator, found dead in Spanish prison. Now, this is a big entrepreneur business, I think he's a self-made man. I don't think he came from a ton of money. I don't think he did. But in September, file photo with security. Madrid, John McAfee, the creator of the McAfee antivirus software, was found dead in his jail cell near Barcelona in an apparent suicide Wednesday, hours after a Spanish court approved his extradition to the United States to face tax charges punishable by decades in prison, authorities said. Wow. The eccentric cryptocurrency promoter and tax opponent whose history of legal troubles spanned from Tennessee to Central America and the Caribbean was discovered at the Bryans 2 penitentiary in northeastern Spain. Security personnel tried to revive him, but the jail medical team finally certified his death. A statement from the regional Catalan government said, a judicial delegation has arrived to investigate the cause of death, it said, adding to that, everything points to death by suicide. Wow. He took his own life. Wow. Sad news. I just found out by Low Roller Scratcher. McAfee died. Wasn't he supposed to eat something if cryptocurrency went to 100,000 a coin, or Bitcoin went to 100 grand? Wasn't he supposed to do something? Inflation could be the problem for Canadians' economy, especially if we believe it is. So how are they going to do this in Canada? The government could come and say, we've made contact with aliens. We're not going to show you video proof because it goes against their religion, and everybody will believe it here. Now, the problem we have is, what are they going to try and tell people about inflation in Canada? How are they going to sideline it? How are they going to lie about it efficiently lie about this? You know what I'm saying? How would they efficiently make up to get to make Canadians realize your wages haven't gone up in 40 years to hedge against the inflation, but don't you worry, there's something better in the works for you. What could they possibly tell us? First it was toilet paper, then it was masks and gowns, and lately lumber and computer chips. Now it's real estate. It's been real estate since 2010. They've just been doing a better job at hiding it. And I'm not paying to unlock this. Better dwelling. Canadian home housing investment forecast to make a sharp decline, says Desjardins. So we've been talking about a decline in the housing market for the last, 10, 12 years on this channel, and nothing's happened. I've been dead wrong. Because we cannot factor in the backdoor deals that are being made. We just can't do it. I don't know what's happening in the back. But we do have 5 weeks left, so that's all I have to say. Sorry, guys, I'm really hot. Okay. Yeah, the DV. The DV ball juice variant is coming out. We got Margie in the house. Thanks for joining us here. Who else is? Francis Foley in the house. Thanks for joining us on the back channel. Mike is saying, Lil Roller Scratcher, thanks for posting the link on the other stream. Yeah. There's also tons of Australian money in New Zealand real estate too. Bob Carr, New South Wales Premier, bought up quite a lot of New Zealand real estate. It's the Polly's way to hide their ill-gotten gains. Yeah, but where did that money come from? It all came. It's not from the. It's partially from taxes, but there's a lot of side deals with the Chinese communists, right? Jeff Jefe Salcedo said McAfee did not kill himself. Maybe we could talk about that on Mike in the Night for sure. I'm kind of it doesn't make any sense. I don't believe anything they tell us anymore. Heck, don't even believe anything I tell you. Research it for yourself. Figure it out. U.S. new home sales fall to the lowest level in a year. Ditto for inventory. So again, America's going through Amerifornia stages, and this is exactly. They're going to blame inventory, and they're going to play the supply versus demand game. This is a big game that's been played for many years in Canada, England, UK, New Zealand, and Australia. They've been playing the supply and demand game, and it's a bunch of BS. Okay, because you have roughly, it's actually 18 million homes empty in America. I thought it was 11. I was wrong. Canadian uninsured mortgage borrowers risking payment shock is surging. So again, if they raise rates to hedge against inflation, it's going to be a major issue. Canadian job vacancies hit the new record as 600,000 positions sit empty, says Bank of Montreal. I don't believe that there's 600,000 positions sitting empty. I don't believe that at all. I really find that hard to believe. I just don't see Canadians working in any of these jobs. Like, you go somewhere, I just don't see Canadian people working anywhere. I don't know. So Anna Key saying there's chaos in Australia now with the people being turned away at airports mid-flight due to sudden state border closures. Yeah, Canada's reopening soon. Yeah, because, things are happening. There's a lot going to be happening in 5 weeks, so we got to prepare. I've been calling this for 10 weeks now. We're at 5 weeks, folks. So I want to get everyone to please prepare. I'm begging everyone to please be prepared for what's going to happen in 5 weeks. So I'm asking everyone to please, if they can, there's a 10% chance that nothing will happen. But if something does happen, I just want you to make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them. And I want you to make sure to tell, I just want to make sure that you have no regrets is all. Francis Foley says when the media talk about the housing crisis links together with fentanyl crisis, the ill-gotten gains of criminals being used to purchase real estate. That was 3 weeks ago on our financial show. We've been connecting fentanyl and drug sales from the CCP factories, Chinese Communist Party's factories producing opioids, fentanyl, oxycontins, and stuff being just being spread across Canada. It's now making its way to America now with Bidon, Senor Bidon the third, the greatest thing, and Kamala Harris. There, I think it's 200 days or 180 or whatever days. She's never visited the border yet. So that's a Mike in the Night topic. But yeah, that's very sad that drugs are tied to real estate. Okay, we got Fringe Files. How were you able to set up a stream on the main channel if it has a strike? Well, no, I'm on the backup. You guys, you're on the backup channel right now. Oh, that stream was already pre-set up a long time ago before they strike me down. So the stream was created. I just can't use it. I can't go live with it, right? So I got to strike for another, 5 or 6 days. So I'm hot. So this channel is rolling nicely. Mike, Oxycontin was produced by the Purdue Pharma. Okay, then I'm talking about opioids and all kinds of other BS that's circulating. But now it's going to hit. I know America got hit with the synthetic marijuana and all that BS crap in Washington and in Oregon, but this is a little bit different. This opioids and all this other stuff, it's going to hit America really hard. A lot of American youth are going to die on the streets like Canadian are. Because we have 35 million people, obviously, like, I don't know, if 40, 50,000 overdoses or something or whatever it was, like something crazy. Well, America's going to be way more. It's going to be in the hundreds of thousands because they have the more population, right? Anaki's acting. How long will Bill C-10 take effect? Well, it has passed, and the problem with Bill C-10, it's going to stop Canadians. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to talk to Fringe Files, Alaska Prepper. He called me an hour ago. I missed his call. He wants me to call him, Alaska Prepper. Maybe I could route through one of their channels, a live stream once in a while, so you guys don't forget about me, because it's going to be illegal in Canada for me to broadcast, I guess, because if you're routing through another country, I don't know if that's still illegal in Canada to talk, because you can't talk, right? Talking is illegal, right? So, Auckland's median house prices could buy you around the world. So here it is. Like $1 million for that. Look how expensive it is in Canada. Look at that. Look at this. Let me put it on full screen. Look at this. $1 million. 600,000 pounds in England. Well, you buy this in Pittsburgh cheaper. 185,000 US in Pittsburgh. Look at this thing. Rochester. All this stuff is cheaper. I guess these people are watching my channel and they're going, oh, let's compare prices to the US at which you could buy. Like, New Zealand is just crazy. New Zealand is one of those countries that have been heavily occupied by foreign investing. It's destroyed the country because there's only 5 million people there. Australian state pockets windfall from Sydney housing boom. So what are they talking about? Well, I could tell you what they're talking about before you even read this. It's about the stamp duty. It's the amount of taxes you pay when you buy a home in Australia. And it's been very good for foreign investing, dumping their money in. Look, New South Wales earned $9.4 billion dollars in stamp duties in current financial year, surpassing its previous forecast at $8.4 billion during a pandemic, during one of the world's biggest lockdowns in Australia. And look, they've made more money selling homes off of taxes, $8.4 billion. And that's not including the hundreds of billions of dollars that have been laundered through real estate in that country. Australia's home prices climbed for the 8th straight month in a row, and they had some of the biggest lockdowns for the last 8 straight months in a row. Kind of makes you wonder who is buying this for. If you're paying 8.4 billion, 9.4 billion in tax, you know how much the gross has to. Like we're probably talking about hundreds of billions of dollars to pay that much money in taxes for a house. Hundreds of billions of dollars in real estate switched hands. Yeah, Papa Piss says never upload a live stream. Kill it after the show or else they could flag it all day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to live stream on this channel. And I'm going to share it on the main channel on my community so people could still see the live streams on replay. This channel is here. We have some fun. We talk. Ricky Spanish. We have all kinds of cool stuff. And it's... Ricky Spanish. We could do that. We could just be ourselves here, you know? Because the problem is, with this channel, we have a problem. When they censor me, they censor you. They censor everybody in these comments. They censor everyone that calls in. They censor everybody when that happens. We're all censored. Because there's I don't think Lila cares about having a YouTube channel. I don't think Amy Burr cares about having a YouTube channel of her own. I don't think Aniki gives a crap about having her own. But she likes to call in to this channel and voice her opinion. And that's what they're taking away from us. I don't care about Super Chat. I don't care about Super Chat. I don't care. We got to keep our sanity somehow, and we got to kind of talk it through. Houses in the U.S. cost 13.2% more in March 2021 than the same time last year. Here's why houses are so expensive. Again, they go on the wood, this, inflation, printing money, Mickey Mouse. They don't talk about the hundreds of billions of dollars that were brought in. $11.2 billion brought in by Hong Kongers in 2020. Rising interest rates will be the number one issue for Canadians' housing market, economists say. Oh my God, let's give a round of applause. Round of applause. You're talking about all man.
You're talking about all man.
Wow. What an economist is telling us that the number one issue for Canada's housing, raising rates. Oh my God, this economist needs to win a Nobel piece of crap prize. So we got... This is nuts. All right, let's move on real quick here. Housing market will be the first casualty of higher interest rates, says former Bank of Canada. Oh my God, you're talking about all man.
You're talking about
all man.
All man.
Man, this is huge. Just so we knew this it's the basic of economics, and that's why they keep lowering rates. And the only way to hedge against rates, it's a tug of war, is to raise rates. So you want to hedge against inflation is you raise rates. Or you buy a ton of gold to hedge against inflation, right? Looking dapper, Mike, with the Aloha shirt. It's hot, buddy. Está muy caliente. Demasiado. It's very hot. Okay, so somebody was watching I have some on the new this YouTube channel. This used to be my Spanish channel. And I would do live streams in Spanish. And I would call people and we talk. And Buddy emailed me. He's like, Mike, I am very impressed. I didn't know you spoke. I thought you spoke Spanish like, hey, give me a beer. Like una cerveza. Like, that's Spanish. I didn't know you spoke Spanish. Like, you could have a conversation and have a whole show for 2 hours in Spanish. I'm like, yeah, of course I could speak Spanish. I don't tell people I can speak Spanish and don't speak it. I speak Portuguese. Mike is saying, did you hear that the U.S. government is pushing to help pay? Yes, California. I know California is paying back rents on people so people don't end up on the street. You already have a major homeless crisis in California, and it can't get any worse than what it is. They can't make it worse. Yeah, Jefe Salcedo is saying gold and silver prices still suppressed, and yeah. Trust the Silence, thanks for joining us on the backup channel. I'm surprised I got 49 people on this channel watching live. That is impressive. Very impressive. Last week's show, we had about 160, 170, and then Mike in the Night got over 200, and then they took that video down because, we can't talk about stuff anymore, right? Even though it's like front and center on media. It's hot. Peter O'Brien saying, Jay Pastor, he was not a young man, and Spanish jails are pretty rough. Maybe he just died. No, not in Spain. In Spain is very. I remember there was a detention facility that was across the border from Portugal, and they had marble flooring, like marble floors and counters and ledges by the windows. I don't know how bad, Housing market gone berserk, stirs up unease over investors' clout. Yep. So there it is right there. There's Canada, and Canada's just crazy. Investors, billions of dollars being thrown into Canada. Canadians without a hope. Housing premium high in South Florida. Again, South Florida, price of housing is going way too high. It's outstripped wages a whiles back. Okay, no, it's from the Orlando here. What is this? WestJet launches cargo division amid. So WestJet's getting smart. They're starting to do cargo, seeing that everyone's ordering everything in. All right, let's get somebody on the show. I'm hot, man. It's really, really hot. And Spiffy BB's here. I found you on this channel because I was looking up bills about C10. Will you be? I'll be live on here, so subscribe to here. I'm live. And then I'm going to share the live stream in case you miss it on my main channel. And I'll be putting up stuff on my main channel from time to time just to keep the channel current. Here it is. Look at this. Amazon to invest in Canada's largest solar farm in race for sustainability. It's getting old, guys. Fed officials say temporary inflation surge may last longer than thought. Ooh, it's going to be, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's going to be so interesting to find out how they hide the inflation. What are they going to do? Like, okay, if you want to hide the inflation, well, it's not hiding it. You could start adding zeros to your currency, and you feel like you have more money, but it becomes toilet paper. So that's one way. Another way is, again, it won't work because you need money velocity. So if you start destroying currency, okay, if you start destroying the amount of currency that's out there, then you can start more money management by governments by removing circulating currency. Then maybe you could start to see some sort of, but that's really tough to do. It's very tough because you're going to cut back on money velocity, and then hence you're going to start deleveraging. And then when we start deleveraging, people borrow less within their means. Then it just doesn't work. You're going to have to raise interest rates. And they might have to do it where it's a conveyor belt going up, and when you get to the top, things just start to fall off. And I think that's the only way it's going to work, is you just go a few basis, quarter, and then slowly you start getting people defaulting, foreign investors waiting to buy the properties from the banks, and then that's it. And then I don't know what they're going to do. I think they're going to flush the Canadians out. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people. I have a friend that just moved back to Portugal last week. I have another friend that moved back to Spain like a week and a half ago. I have a good friend that moved back to Russia. I have another friend that moved back to Poland. I have, and he went to see the Euro Cup. The stadium was full. He was happy, so hide inflation through energy. You could do that. That's a really good one, actually. Slocks 123. You could hide inflation through energy. That's a really, really good one. Money velocity is at its lowest, Fed not working. So that's the problem. See, so if you start destroying currency and doing more money management, you just destroy the existing circulated currency that's out there, and then people obviously start deleveraging more and more, right? Instead of leveraging more, right? So inflation overshoot has Bank of Canada weighing mandate tweaks. So mandates need to be made. I think what we need to do is put a lot of people accountable. The people that were in charge of money laundering. I'm afraid to find out how many money laundering breaches Canada has through its banks. I know one bank in Australia has 26 million money laundering breaches. Westpac has 22 or 26 million money laundering breaches. So that's a lot of money, because for you to create a breach and you're laundering. Mike, Mike, I can't get in today. Internet got shut off last night. Mike, I can't get in today. Okay. Oh yeah, Fringe would be nice to talk to Fringe too, but it's okay. I'll have her on Mike in the night if she can't come now. I feel like Metro Vancouver is too much now, considering Alberta in 2 years or so. I heard the market will adjust a bit, and then it would be good to buy. What other thoughts? You know what, Spiffy? It's going to America, because I have I got a really bad feeling, guys, of our healthcare system in Canada is crumbling badly, and they're using this whole whatever's happening now to actually start, closing down rural hospitals. I'm really scared, guys, about the healthcare system. It is socialized medicine we have, but it's our only medicine. We don't have private hospitals in Canada like the States do, where if you just go, okay, I'm going to go in, pay $180, see a doctor, and and see what's wrong, right? That's the problem. We don't have that in Canada. We have to deal with the socialized medicine here. And I'm afraid that the only thing keeping Canadians in Canada for so many years was the healthcare system, but yeah. The Soylent Green is made out of people. Yes, it is. They were actually talking about meat made with humans. Margie O saying there's plenty of food. Yeah. Spiffy is saying, I feel like Metro Vancouver is too much now, considering Alberta. Yeah, I read that already. I'm sorry. But yes. Yeah, she's right. French File says, I exceeded my data limits. It's okay. It happens. We all do that. I have unlimited data. Unlimited. We got Lord Humongous in the house. All right. Okay, who wants to come on the show tonight and give us a 5 minutes a plug? 5 minutes a plug. Come on, I'll give you a 5 minute a plug tonight. Financial system's going to hell. We got 5 weeks to go. I'm really, really, really concerned, making sure everybody's well-being is well made. Make sure that everybody is in good spirits with each other. I just hope everybody's okay, and we'll talk this through for as long as I'm allowed to. Okay, let's get somebody on the show here. I want to get Ricky Spanish back on, but he's been in and out of jail. He's on our live Discord. Okay, he's on the Discord. We see him there a lot, and then he just disappeared. And he's like, I got in trouble. I drank too much and I got put away overnight. Yeah. A DIY saying you're right, Mike. In Australia, a lot of rural hospitals are struggling. There were scandals of bad medical practices and financial woes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time. Okay, Kevin J. Johnson still in jail, from what I heard. Let me see who else is... we had Uneducated Economist on last week. And... it's hot in here. Oh, Tristan. Tristan hasn't been on Skype in a while. I hope he's doing okay. Man, no one's on. Nobody. Someone's saying Feel free to share on Mike in the Night. No, that's for Mike in the Night. Someone just messaged me and said, Mike, I'm down 300 large on my crypto. You want to be a first-time caller? Go ahead. The viewers are welcome to the Discord. So if so, where can I, guys, get somebody, Layla, somebody that, oh yeah, I got to make people into moderators. All right. I got to make people into moderators. I forgot. Okay, Layla or Lord, if one of you guys could put the Skype, if one of you guys could put the Skype in the link in the link in the live stream here, if you don't mind. I would really appreciate that for Spiffy. The Discord's going nuts. All kinds of posts. Man, I get on there. Sometimes I get depressed. It's depressing. Depressing. Let me see if Stephen Thomas is there. He's out of Melbourne, Australia. But he's got something interesting he wants to talk about.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
Oh, he's not available. No problem. He's got something calling. He's got something going on. And we're looking at, for Australia, you might hear it here first on this channel. But Australia is looking at indefinite border closures. I'm not making this up. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. Indefinite border closures, especially being 5 weeks out. I don't know what Australia's planning. They're an island, so I don't know what, like, I got an older article here that I could share with you guys here if you want. It's an older one, but what does this have to do with finance? Everything. Because how is a country supposed to function? It's the it's Australian news here, mainstream media. Prime Minister has no plans to reopen the national borders. Indefinite border closure. Prime Minister clings to 0-case target. And we're talking about, like, closing the border. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. They're looking at closing the borders indefinitely in Australia. I don't know what they're planning something big. And I have a feeling, guys, this feeling it has to do with, like, just the wall they built along Mexico. And I've been telling people since the late 90s, when they were building that wall across the Mexican-American border, it wasn't to keep the Mexicans from coming in. It was to keep the Americans from escaping, right? So, indefinite border closure, this will be a disaster for small business, tourism, everything is financially. The financial destruction that will be brought in is absolutely. So they're actually talking about indefinite border closures in Australia. It's been on the back burner, and it's something that's been surfacing in and out of meetings now. And you know what happens, right? Who was the caller that discussed what was in the jab? Yes, we got to be careful when we talk, but we're going to get him on the show. But that's on Mike in the Night, and he is. Let me see if he's available. No, he's not. It's nice out. Everyone's outside enjoying the weather, and I'm not gonna bug people if they don't want to be bugged, right? So somebody put the Discord link in the thing, if that's okay. Lord, put the Discord link in the live chat if you don't mind, please. Yeah, Bill C-10 has been passed, and now it's going to be finalized. I don't know when, but they're looking at the next couple. They've been rushing through this law to start censoring people like Rebel News. I don't know if I'm big enough. I don't even think they care about me. I honestly think they don't even know I exist. To be honest, that guy, who even listens to that guy? That guy's a loser. They probably see me and they're like, what a loser. Mitch Madden said it's not just Americans. They want severely curtailed movement. There's a Discord link right there, guys. If you guys want to join. Papa Pissed, it's part of Operation Trojan Shield. Check it out. It's massive. Yeah, so we're 5 weeks out. Australia's already discussing indefinite border closures, and it's been surfacing and resurfacing the last 8 months. So, yeah. Yeah. Look what you could buy in New Zealand for a couple of million bucks. In Australia, sorry. So nice. Man, if I had like $30 and it was like 20 years ago, I'd buy this for like $100. I'm just it's so depressing when you see this stuff going. Like, this is more expensive than Shaquille. I could bet you it's more expensive than Michael Jordan's house or Shaquille O'Neal's house, or like even what's his name? I know. Chuck Norris sold his house outside of Atlanta for $800,000, and you still couldn't buy this when you sell Chuck Norris's house. And Chuck Norris's house is nice. Here, I'll even look it up for you guys. Chuck Norris's house for sale. Yeah, 4 bedrooms, 7 baths. Here it is. 14 bedroom property. So this is actually cheaper. This house is actually cheaper than buying. Where's that? This house in New Zealand. It's actually cheaper. Or this is Australia, yeah. This is actually more money. Let me go full screen here so people can see the beauty. This is more money than this house. Yeah, it's more money. Yeah, I think it's sold for it's 7,000 square foot, 4 bedroom, on screen. What's an on screen residence? I don't know what that means, but yeah, there it is. But I mean, if you don't want this house because you don't like America, you could just buy this in Australia. It's got a drum set outside too. Sorry, I'm not trying to shame the home. I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just trying to make people realize that we are getting shafted. Big time. We are getting shafted big time. And I don't even know what to say anymore about it. All right, I see Layla's on. Oh, it looks like it's Linny's on here, but she's not available. Let me call Layla. I talked to her earlier today and see what she has to say. Hello? Layla? Hello? Oh, connection is too weak. Please try again later. Okay, weak connection. Let's give it a few seconds here. It's hot, man. It's a hot one.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Layla, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? What's
I'm
up?
doing great. So somebody's saying in the comments, by the way, 10-year yields have been dropping from 1.62 to 1.42. Last check, demand for cash rising. Yep. I think uneducated economists talked about that today or yesterday. Okay, so Layla, you got these cities, you got this house here for sale in Australia. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's in a good area. The house is probably worth $7,000 on paper, and I mean, it's millions of dollars. I mean, you could buy. I showed you Chuck Norris's house earlier, which you could buy. Chuck Norris's house for cheaper. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Now, not only is it out of reach and expensive for the average citizen, which we already talked about, let's talk about how evil and mean everybody is to each other.
Who's everybody?
Just the people in general living in these. Like I know when I lived in Vancouver, it's just I was despised of when I walked out on the street. People looked at me and was like, "What are you doing here?" You know?
Yeah, Mike, it was also my experience. And the other day, Papa was making a Papa pissed in the comments. He was making a comment that it's because I was in Toronto, and I agree. The big cities are definitely different, but I mean, we look at your case, Mike, and how you're constantly harassed and how people are constantly hating on you because you did what exactly?
I opened a
I
toy
don't know.
store.
I don't know if it's because. Right, because I don't know if it's, maybe currently people are just getting more and more impatient with each other. And Canada, for some very mysterious reason, has had one of the longest lockdowns in the world, which is completely irrational considering that Canada is so sparsely populated, very small population. Canada is 30 million. Cairo is 30 million during the day.
Right.
Like 10 million people come into Cairo from the suburbs and the towns every day to work. At least that was pre-COVID. So it just doesn't make sense. So it's very possible that people are just pissy. But in general, I have to say that my experience was, people who are defensive, not particularly interested in anyone really. And so, yeah, just like a pissy environment. So that, I think that helps, right? With, neighbors who are reporting each other now. Like I can imagine, like the neighborhood I was in, it was a very wealthy neighborhood close to Yorkville. I am very convinced that these are the type of people who would report you if you coughed, and did things like that. It just makes life unbearable.
So not only is it
And
expensive in the property taxes, my property taxes are high here. Like in a small town, 7,000
yeah,
people, they're high. I pay like
yeah,
3 grand for property tax a year, right? So if you look at like, I mean, it's getting to a point where the remember. I don't know, Layla, if you remember 2 years ago when property taxes started to really go up in 2019, and I made a video called "You're damned if you own and you're damned if you rent," because if you rent, your rent's going to go up because property taxes go up, and then in turn the landlord will have to raise your rent, right? So we're in a position where it's unbearable either way, but you would think that, oh wow, someone's going to buy this house here for several millions of dollars. These must be well off, highly educated, top of the line, really well mannered folk that are going to come in and show us the way. No, you would think, multi-million-dollar homes on the street, you would think it would be like top of the line and this and that, but it's just this resentment and hatred that everyone shows to each other. I don't know why.
yeah. I mean, I can't, I can't explain that. It's not my impression that Canada is generally a friendly country, and I appreciate that some people, might feel offended, but there is also, there's a bit of marketing about Canada that contradicts a little bit the reality on the ground. So that's the point. It's not, like people don't owe you anything. People don't owe you your peace of mind. They don't owe you anything. But it's just that I personally, for me myself, like the many good things that I heard about Canada before moving there were contradicted one after the other, like down a checklist. And Mike, one thing you talk about is that move to the smaller towns and things like that. And of course, you have a point because of the many problems of the big city. But you're saying that you pay expensive energy bills and probably expensive other bills as well, right? And that is an issue that is going to be a reality with small towns because infrastructure costs more in small towns because they have a smaller coverage. So it takes more, they need more time to cover the costs that they invest. So they do that. They make up for that by jacking up the prices. So it's very, that's the problem is that if you're far away from centers, at some point they're going to make it difficult to deliver services to you. So you were just talking about healthcare, right? And then Papa in the comment, he said that in a hospital near him, they started to shut down some units, like what, the birthing unit did he say, or something like that. So I don't think Papa lives in a small, I think Papa lives in the Ottawa area. I'm not sure if, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to infringe on his privacy or anything like that, but just as a way of example, even in medium-sized towns, services are going to start to be thinned, so they're going to make it harder for you to have access to the full range. You're going to start driving out. Mike, was it last year that in a town in Canada they shut down a whole supermarket?
Yeah.
Do
And
you
that was the
remember
only
that story?
supermarket
Do
in
you
that
remember
small
that
town.
story? Yes. Yes, I remember that. You see, well, they're going to start, they can start doing these things gradually. And sometimes, I have to be honest, sometimes it's justified, Mike, because it's really expensive to build infrastructure, especially in a place like Canada. Like every time you need to send maintenance, it's cold, the materials are different. It has to be much higher quality across the board. So it's not a small feat, to run a whole economy in northern Canada. So you can imagine that with fewer populations, it's just the business case makes more sense, and it makes more sense for the people to be, to have access to a fuller range of things. So that's going to be a compromise down the line. Just a thought for, when you say moving to small towns and things like that, you know?
I get less noise in this in my call. It's not noisy. It's quiet, fresh air, beautiful mountain view. Um, I get people that hate on me, but so what? You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
don't,
you
you
have
know,
such amazing patience.
I don't, I would gladly love to be like today there was a huge bum fight outside my store, and like it happens, like and whatever,
hmm Yeah, no, of course. I'm not saying there are amazing benefits to living outside of the city. There's probably more benefits than disadvantages, but it's just that with everything that's happening, and with the war on energy, which is very, very clearly happening across the board in the US and in Canada, I think they're gonna start to make things harder. And I think the carbon tax is gonna go up. I think all the taxes are gonna go up. But who someone in the Discord posted climate change lockdowns coming. I think things are gonna get tighter, and I think it's very possible that the smaller towns are gonna they're gonna see some disadvantages, because it's easier to start thinning out the services, the infrastructure, and these, even essential services, to these places, just like healthcare and things like that.
hmm
And then the AI is going to kick in. The robots are going to kick in. And there was a Financial Post a chat about it. Where Larissa, the Financial Post host, she had a small panel, and they were talking about how Canada is actually really behind when it comes to robots and AI, and how so many parts of the world, including the US, of course, are well ahead with this, and that they really need to catch up on this, on this matter.
hmm
So that's coming. Yeah, that's coming.
I want to throw something out. Canadian job vacancies hits a new record at 600,000 positions sit empty, says Bank of Montreal. I don't understand how that's
I'm
even
not buying it.
huh?
I'm not buying it.
I don't know how that's humanly possible. Like I don't understand. Like 600,000 positions of what sit empty?
That's right. Yeah, good point, Mike. Every single one of those articles that I've read about labor shortage in the US and in Canada, there is no rationale in the articles. They never tell us why exactly people are not taking up these jobs. There's no rational explanation. You have opinion articles about people being comfortable on this income that they're getting, and then other opinions that say, well, that's not even enough to pay for almost everything. It's just a supplement. Of course, people need to work, so there's a whole lot of contradictions on that front about well, that's basically the debate around what UBI does, and that's what we're heading into. But there is never a rationale about why these people are not coming back to work. Where have these people gone?
hmm That's a good question. But I know there's a lot of Europeans. Again, Layla, we've been talking about this a lot. There's a lot of Europeans moving back to Europe. A lot. I told you, remember on the Mike in the Night in 2018, 2019, I was talking about have a friend who reports to the federal government on people that are buying one-way tickets out of Canada and where they're going. Remember?
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember that very clearly. That was late 2019, Mike. That wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, but there was a lot
Mm.
of Europeans leaving. Like a lot of like he's saying that more people are leaving back to Europe from Canada. We're talking about people that came in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. They're all going back to Europe because they're realizing, like, why am I going to play the rat race here when I could go back to Europe and die in peace, right?
I have to agree. And I do think that I do think that Canada has been losing people. I really do think so. You see ads, for example, in the Middle East, in our parts of the world, there are so many ads for immigration, like immigrate to Canada, like come to Canada. Like they're really pushing the ads, and they acknowledge that the birth rate has dropped significantly, and that immigrants have come, like I think, less than a third of what they normally get. So for Canada, this is an issue because Canada has on its own, without the immigration, it has a shrinking population.
Right.
And
Our birth tourism, the
but
Chinese
at the
birth
same
tourism is
time,
helping.
I do think they want to shrink the economy, though, right? Like this whole COVID agenda. So these are contradictory things that we're hearing. On the one hand, they want people. On the other hand, there is a depopulation agenda. So I think these are contradictions that are designed to distract. And I do think that the depopulation takes precedence over the other agendas. And one thing that I think these G7, G20 countries and all the other people who sit on that table are doing is that they try to scoop up people from all over the world and they vaccinate them. So recently in Canada, they brought in these workers, like labor, I think either agriculture, things like slaughterhouses and, these difficult jobs. And they vaccinated it was compulsory. They didn't say it in these words, but if you listen to the media, you understand them well, because they started saying, well, vaccine hesitancy, some of them had vaccine hesitancy and blah, blah, blah. So it was clear that they were being asked to be vaccinated as soon as they entered the border. And all of these, this COVAX effort, it's you want to stay away from that. Just today, this, who is it? Someone on Canadian politics, I forget who, he said in passing that everyone who is vaccinated has their record uploaded onto the COVAX website.
Mm-hmm.
So every country on the COVAX table, they have their COVAX portal, and all of their vaccination efforts are recorded on there. And every single dose is probably barcoded, and I read about that. I am 100% sure that every
Well, with
single
them
dose
paying
is
almost
barcoded,
2,000
so they
American
know
per dose,
exactly.
with the doses
Say that
costing
again,
about
Mike.
2,000 American, I would hope that they would be at least barcoded, right?
Is that how much they cost?
About almost 2,000, 1895 or something American, yeah.
Really? Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I
All
didn't
right.
know it was that much. I know it's for free in Canada, though. It's free
Well,
pretty
no.
much
It's free everywhere.
like
It's free. You don't
everywhere
pay
they're
for it.
giving it.
The governments are paying for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why are they
Did you
raising the
see?
alarm now? Let's
Did the Raven
change
send
topic
you
here before I
that?
get shut down, huh?
Did the
Who?
Raven send you that video about this? The Raven, did he send you that video about this woman being forced to take the vaccine in India? Did you see it?
No. I did. Did you put it in
I
the
should send it
Discord?
to you. Yeah, I'll see it. Yeah, I'll share it in the Discord.
Yeah, I'll see
It's
it later
horrific.
on the
And
Discord.
the
Okay, so I want to throw something out here. Are you ready for this? Why is Canada all of a sudden starting to raise the alarms on rising interest rates will be the number one issue for Canadian housing market, economist says. Yeah, for the last 10 years we haven't risen rates. So what does this mean, Layla? Why are they starting to a nice soft approach? There's 4 different mainstream Canadian media publicists and American publicizing this now. We know this. We've known this for the last 10 years because rates have pretty much frozen. Why are they were they trying to educate the people now about this when they're over leveraged, they have no money, and they're in this debt bubble of death?
I think they're preparing them, and when they say that they will raise the rates, I believe them. So they lie about everything, yes, but there are some things that they prep you about. So, for example, when they're telling you that there is the Delta variant that is spreading and killing people who are vaccinated, they're preparing you for the 4th wave. Even though the whole thing is BS, it's
No,
still
it's the
they're
5th
telling
wave.
you, they're warning. Oh, the 5th. Okay, sorry, I lost count.
No, I think
And so
California's in the 5th now. I don't know which. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, so there it is right there. So they're preparing. So they're raising interest rates. They're trying to get people on board to kind of I guess what they're trying to do is raise the alarm for people that are over leveraged by telling them, look, I don't think you have a dog in the fight anymore. Try and sell your home and see
Yeah.
what you could recoup from it. You know you see where I'm
Yes.
going with this, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm
Bingo.
thinking
I
that's
think
what
you're.
they're
I
trying to
think you're.
say now. Hey, by the way, rates are going up,
Well,
so
yeah. Yeah.
so
And
Financial Post
for a
reporting.
while we've been having these conversations about bankruptcies, and there's another word. There's another format for bankruptcy in Canada. I forget what it's called. So they've been talking about these options that Canadians have, and they've been circulating the number of being $200 away from bankruptcy and things like that. And I also think that the UBI is also continues to be on the table. So they're having all of these big talks about taxing the wealthy, and why they have no business being so rich and controlling of so much of the wealth. And it's crazy that people are taxed on income and they're taxed on nothing, and they're not even taxed on their assets, and things like that. So all of this conversation is being it's being massaged and being really constantly gone through, and I think that's a preparation for UBI. So when the interest rates come in and people find themselves, or maybe some of them, they find themselves not able to make ends meet, they're gonna fall back on that. And they already used the word guaranteed income for old age. I didn't think of old age security as guaranteed income. I thought it depended on certain conditions, like they
Like how many
calculate your
hours
old.
you put in, how many years you put in, all that stuff.
I think so. Yeah. Now it's not the one that's when you work. It's the other one. It's the So I guess that's why they call it guaranteed. But usually guaranteed income, the words guaranteed income means an amount that is unconditional. It's unconditional on anything else. That's what it's usually meant by guaranteed income.
We got the Raven in
They
the
have a
house,
few.
Wolverines. We got the Raven in the house, and the Raven is arguably the second or third most important guy you could ever meet. And I'm going to add him as a moderator here. Evan, it's good to see him that he's doing good. So here it is, Layla, here it is. Financial Post. Housing market will be first casualty of higher interest rates, says former Bank of Canada economist. Financial Post is reporting it. So you know why? It's going to be later down the road. But we told you about this. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and Mike, I think the narrative is falling apart. I think everyone, or anyone with half a brain, is seeing at this point who has been buying up all of these prices. They've been jacking up prices to push as many Canadians out of the market, because the people who are buying the houses are not normal individuals, everyday hardworking Canadians. No, they come either from a developer end, a hedge fund end, or like what's it called, the affordable housing end. They are scooping up these places, and they are already thinking 2030 and beyond. They're going to redevelop the city, and they're going to repopulate it in a whole different way. They are
You're
already
talking
thinking that far.
about
You can be sure about
all
that.
men.
Mm-hmm.
It's, Blackstone, and that video you just did about Blackstone and the other one,
Yes.
it's 100%. These articles, that Wolf Street article, I was surprised he pulled this off. This is damage control on behalf of Blackstone and company.
Mm-hmm.
This is BS. I don't buy it. They're scooping it up. They're going to redevelop the city. Affordable housing is going to be everywhere. Oh, and by the way, Mike, just today, maybe yesterday, I think because of the time difference, the encampments of the homeless in the Bellwood Trinity Park in Toronto, which was such a big deal, and others, they're going to be forced into homes. Now, I'm not saying they have a good life on the street, but I think these affordable homes are going to be another long-term care situation with COVID, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember going to the Bellwoods Park there in Trinity Park. I remember going there to the Portuguese festivals when I was a kid. And here it is, the Bellwoods encampment that Layla's talking about here. Let me go to the images here for you guys to see. Yeah, Canada's in a lot of trouble, man. There's the parks there, tons of police. This is from a day ago, 23 hours ago. Oh my God, the COVID variant is going nuts there. Look at all these people. It's just going nuts.
Yeah, well said, Mike. Well said.
Yeah, it's really sad. A lot of these Canadians put their lives, they work their entire lives too. A lot of them have. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them without having a life and just a lot of hard work and very little joy, and this is what they get. Honestly,
Wow,
this
look
is
at the
so not.
police. They look like military.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so there were a lot of protesters, and Tory was confronted several times across the different updates he gave between yesterday and today. He was doing some vaccine site tours and that crap. So several journalists actually confronted him on, the like they didn't agree with the police being armed like this, with people being forced like that. And Tory was saying that they had done some 20,000 visits, like the city of Toronto has done 20,000 visits to these encampments, trying to get people to change their minds, to move into, a hotel and a safer place, and they wouldn't. And so at the end of the day, they've had to involve enforcement, and they're forcing them off the parks. Now, on the one hand, this is good, but on the other hand, Mike, if you're also watching other news, there's been a skyrocketing number of violence and crime in these homes, in these shelters
Mm-hmm.
over the pandemic. Just like crime has been going up all over the place, and of
Oh,
course, the head
everywhere.
of the police.
America's seeing a huge
Yeah,
uptick in
yeah,
crime.
huge, huge, much more than people are keeping track of. And of course, so that's fodder for the gun laws now that Fife brought in just yesterday, day before. Yeah, it's coming together really well. You have to give them credit. The pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. I mean, they're doing really well in Canada. Managing people,
Australia is
locking them
too.
down for the longest time. Yeah, Australia too.
They're
Yeah,
actually
it's a
talking about indefinite border closures.
That's nice. Except maybe, in India, no, they just get to grab you and force you, you don't do that in the Commonwealth. You have to be more civilized. You do it in different ways, right?
Fed officials say temporary inflation surge may last longer than thought. Oh my God. These are all geniuses.
wow.
These are geniuses.
The
So
bright
tell us,
star that one.
Layla, how are we going to hide this? What's the best way? I think money management
I
and
think that's,
destroying.
Mike, I think that's a really good question, actually, Mike. And I don't know what are they going to pull off now?
You could,
Huh?
again, you could
What are
money
they gonna tell
manage
us?
and start destroying existing currency. Okay, so limit the amount of currency that's out in circulation, and that will eventually start bringing, it will start bringing, like the further things are spanned, the closer you bring it together, the more tight things will get, but then money circulation and money velocity will fall. That's a major issue. Another way is you could simply add a zero onto every currency. No, actually is removing a zero from every current bill. So a $100 bill would be 10, a $50 bill would be 5, and a dollar bill will be like a cent. That's scary, but that's a way to curb inflation is by removing zeros off the bills. And Mexico,
Or
yeah,
maybe at that point they bring in the digital currencies. Maybe they're going to say that our only way out at this point is to have a digital currency because of some sing-song that they're going to come up with. Who knows? Maybe they're instrumenting this properly. But yeah, I mean, Jerome Powell told us the other day that money printing doesn't cause inflation. He wants to reinvent. He did. He's such a bright
come
star,
on, don't
right?
bullshit me.
He did.
I believe
He
you.
did.
I believe you.
Yes, they're trying to decouple, what people have been used to forever, trying to decouple inflation from money printing. They're trying to reprogram you with their new economics now.
Okay, another way of doing it is, we all know it, is by raising interest rates. The one toolbox that we have that every economic financial system on the planet, the one tool in the toolbox they don't want to use is raising rates. People are over leveraged. Governments are telling young people that it's okay to take on more debt. It's good to take on debt. Older people don't understand debt. Yes, older people understand debt, and that's why they don't get into debt, right? But there's so much happening, and I'm thinking what's going to happen is if you have a retail that could survive all this BS, and you could manage to stay in business, and you have a little bit of shipping on the side, I'm thinking with the lack of businesses in existence, You could make a killing, and I think the government wants to get rid of it all to give it to Amazon and the bigs, to make the bigs bigger, so that the small guy just doesn't, sell out of his home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm
I could see
totally
that
with that.
happening.
And
You
then
could
they
you
sell
could you
you
could
the
manage it from a
exact
house.
opposite. Yeah, but they're selling you the exact opposite, though. They're telling you that these billionaires need to be taxed, and they were talking about at the G7 about that 15% corporate tax. And now on the agenda with Steve Bacon, you should watch it. You should watch that interview he did with that New York author about how the rich, they evade taxes. From Trump to Bezos to Buffett, how they pay next to nothing in taxes, and how evil that is, and how Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders' plan is the type of thing that should be implemented. So that's how they work it, right? So they corner you on both sides, so that if you're stuck between just two choices. But actually what they're doing is they're making themselves look bad, so that they raise taxes, and they make you think that you won over them when you didn't, because the purpose of these taxes is to give you UBI and to get you out of the workforce. That's what they're working towards. The automation is coming.
Okay, let's do a quick channel plug here while you're on the phone. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the live streaming channel. 150 subscribers. I'm surprised I got that many so fast. But if you can, subscribe. This is my old Spanish channel where I did Spanish live streams. Guys, don't forget to set your reminders for next week, Mike in the Night. It's called We the Censored. So we are We the Censored. Next week, Mike in the Night. Set your reminders for next week's show if possible. Please come on Mike in the Night next week. Also, guys, my store is up. Speaking of small businesses and selling from home, buy a board game for your family. Click on board games. Look at this, guys. There's so many good games here. I just got back in Merchant's Cove, brand new game, just released 2021. I got all kinds of new games, some older classics, but lots of good. I got Cloudspire back in. I got Chronicles of Crime. Layla, if one day we meet, we have to sit down to play some Chronicles of Crime. It's such a good crime deduction game. Bunny Kingdom's a lot of fun. Lots of good stuff here, guys. So don't forget to check out my online store. If you guys want to support the transmission, don't send me super chat. Buy a board game for you and the family, and you'd be surprised how addictive they get. Teespring, go ahead and pick up a I Love Amerifornia t-shirt. I'm also on Facebook for some reason. It's actually picking up traction on Facebook, which is really weird. Guys, don't forget to message me on Instagram, please. If you want to send me a message, send it here on Instagram. Also, guys, artbydano.com. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. New release section here. Check it out. Get a Dano to commission you with a personal piece of artwork. And don't forget to support the Amerifornia Tour 2021-2022 with Lord Humongous. And I'm going to put a link there. Please get to Lord Humongous there and support him. I already sent him a bit of money to help him get his van. His van's on the road, but he needs some funds to get some graphics on it and to go around America talking about all the BS that's happening. Carl Goldsmith, Mike, do you have Mike, do you have Dune Imperium? Yeah, I do have Dune Imperium. I just got a restock on it. I have all the best board games, guys. Let me see. Dune Imperium. It should be under new releases. Hold on. Should be. I think it's like $50. I don't even charge a lot for it. It's the shipping that sucks. Because my shipping is Dune Imperium. Where is it? I know I have that game. I just got it back in. It's a brand new. It's not brand new, but it's new enough. No, you got to search across the. Like I'll show you guys here. Dune. U-N-E. I should have Dune Imperium in stock. There it is. Dune Imperium, $49.99. And then I have the old Dune, too. $49.99. So I do have it in stock. So there it is. Okay, Layla. So what so tell us. You've been on discussing this whole universal basic income is one of your major, like you talk about it quite a bit. And yes, it does tie in with business. Tell us, or business, or what's happening economically. Universal basic income, are they just not going to depend on us to pay our taxes anymore, so they could basically just print money and just give us money?
Yeah, so with the tax, I don't know. I think it's going to depend on the jurisdiction. They're going to tax basic income because it's considered income, but how they tax it, I think it's just going to depend on how different jurisdictions are going to do it, whether they tax at source or afterwards. I think that just doesn't really matter. But a lot of basic income is already underway. I think there's one in Wales, a big one in Wales. There are over 20 cities, some of them big cities, big names in the US that have basic income rolling, a lot in California, New York, and other big places. And in Canada, there's been a number of experiments already done in Ontario and Manitoba. These are old. So the bill, C-273, I think, is already in process, but it's been quiet, for a while. It's been quiet. I think a number of things came in the meantime. The budget came in, the COVID issues came in, the COVID help came in, and Freeland seemed to almost purposely leave it out of the budget. Like you'd think that she would include something for it, but I think it was on purpose. And then actually soon after she released the budget, there were a few articles in the Canadian mainstream media saying, well, there was no provision for basic income after all of this COVID crap. And what, the NDP and the Green Party and even the Liberals themselves, they've been calling for, she didn't include it in the budget. So it's like, what is this?
It's weird.
It's
And
just
plus,
like,
we're spending $1.5 billion a day on it. It's more than wartime efforts. We covered that on our last financial show. I'm thinking, I'm really concerned, we're 5 weeks out, and I really hope that everyone can get their ducks in a row. And I can't stress more. I'm gonna call Alaska Prepper later tonight, and I'm gonna talk to him for a bit. I'm gonna try to get him on Mike in the Night because we need to discuss importance of preparedness. I don't know if we should. I don't know
so
how I
Mike,
could.
when you say we need to have our ducks in a row, what do you think we should be doing exactly? What does that mean
I'm thinking
exactly?
that one. I think people really need to stop dividing within their families. I think family divide needs to end. I think people in family, especially if they live in the same damn home and they're completely avoiding each other, I think they need to start. Things need to start changing within your space. I think people start to need to have someone to talk to and rely on, and starting getting in touch with people. I know people that have thousands of friends on Facebook, and they're the loneliest people in the world. People need to start to network with each other. Stop disagreeing with each other. Stop hating each other. Stop being jealous with each other. Just be happy with each other. I'm talking about your friends.
So Mike, that's all fine,
Sure.
but this is sounding a bit religious, maybe,
No,
which is
I'm
totally
not
fine.
religious. No,
I'm
no, no.
just trying to get a
I'm
sense of what
telling
you're
people first.
like. Are you saying something like make your peace with God and
No,
be good with everyone and things like that because
Be
it's the end of the
spiritual.
world, or
You be
what's
spiritual if
happening?
you want. Some people use spirituality to gain guidance. Some people use spirituality to help them be more clairvoyant on things. It's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if we could just see to eye with each other. That's all. There's already enough BS coming from government officials, public sector workers, all this BS. We need to stop. Like, we already have enough. We need to kind of. That's one thing. Another thing, we need to start at least have water. Okay, water is important, but I'm not talking about water to drink. I'm talking about flushing your toilet with loose water. Okay, a lot of people don't understand. If you're living, especially in a condominium, and you can't flush your toilet because the water's out and there's no power to the water pumps, and you can't flush your toilet, you're dead in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You're dead if you can't flush your toilet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're saying preparedness in terms of, yeah, okay.
Like, especially for people
Gotcha.
living in
Yeah,
condominiums.
Alaska Prepper.
Yeah, condominium. If you're living in a condominium and it's the only way you just can't go out and buy a detached home because it's millions of dollars. And I would strongly recommend to start preparing a lot of empty Pepsi bottles. When I lived in an apartment and I was preparing for the 2012 reset, I had about 40 bottles of Pepsi under my bed it wasn't Pepsi, it was water to flush toilets, to brush my teeth. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that was one. And I lived in a 1-bedroom condo in downtown Vancouver, right, before I had my first kid. So it was really tight, but I managed to put enough water, stack enough silver, I had a couple of cases of lighters. Lighters are good trading commodity. I had a pile of candles. I had a pile of stuff ready to go. I had a lot of dry food, emergency preparation stuff. I believe that people should start at least have water. Very basic
Mike,
commodity.
everything you listed, you were like running through the list in like a Syrian home.
Yeah.
In Syria, they have solutions for almost every scenario.
Hmm.
So they have things that were run on fire, on gas, and on electricity.
Hmm.
They pile up a lot of food. They always have, fire, candles, light, all of that. Water, though, hasn't been an issue, I have to say, quite
Well, you guys use a lot
miraculously.
of
People
groundwater
keep
there
water.
that's easily accessible. But
Yeah,
if you're living
yeah,
in a
but still, people
condominium,
keep their water tanks.
yeah,
People keep water tanks on the rooftop, and there's a
yes.
lot of solar across the board. And of course, almost everyone has weapons, at least in my town.
Hmm.
And maybe Damascus is a bit different, but everyone has in my town. So yeah, it sounded like you were talking about Syria, which is actually unfortunate because Syria is a very tough environment.
It is. It is. But you guys have a very stable source of groundwater there, though, right? So, um,
Yeah, when Israel is not trying to take it, yeah, most of the time.
yeah. But to be fair with you, I just want people to really prepare. Just at least have the water. At least the water. So you can flush
Yeah.
your toilets, and especially if you're in a me, I have a rain catcher in the back of my thing on my eavesdrop. I have a thing that catches rain. It has a tap in the bottom. It has an overflow. I dumped it out after the winter, cleaned it out, resealed it, and ready to catch fresh rainwater. It's there. I could purify the rainwater if I have to. It's not a big deal. Maybe buy some purifying tablets is another thing that I think people should strongly. A life straw, a couple of other things. I think it's mandatory for you guys to have this stuff. We're 5 weeks out, and I'm concerned. So I'm oiling my 45 as I watch. So Lord Humongous is loading up on guns and ammo, which is always a good thing. Self-defense is always an important thing. What else is people? I'm surprised we have 72.
Everything energy, Mike, everything fuel, gas, propane, all of these things, and there's going to be shortages on these pretty soon as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple of jerry cans.
And also heaters and like alternative source heating. Like for example, in Syria, we use I don't know what's the word for it, but it uses diesel. And so they have alternative, options. So when there's electricity, they'll save on the diesel and use electricity. And when there isn't, they'll switch around. So during the winter, we don't have electricity for 8 hours a day, for example, during the winter. So yeah, it's very harsh. It's very hard, the conditions under which people live. So they have a lot of experience with being prepared for the different scenarios, so stock up on all of the different alternative sources of energy so that when you have one source available, you save on the others and then you switch around. Same thing with the stove. They have electric stoves, gas stoves, and then extra stoves on the side. And then of course everyone piles up gasoline. It's a big deal. And also something else you might want to do is you might want to protect your electric equipment. So because the electricity in Syria comes and goes a lot, it can hurt your fridges, your electric stoves if they're electric and all of that. So they put regulators, so that when there's a cut, it doesn't hurt the machine. You might want to consider those as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just gonna say, you could go over to Canadian Tire and places like hardware stores. You could still pick up one of those Coleman with the two mouths on it for cooking. So you got two, like, what do you call those in English? The two burners on it.
Yeah,
it's got the little
burner,
green bottle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me just look that up for you guys so you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We've got plenty of those. They come in all sizes in Syria. Always have them on the side.
Let me see. Coleman gas stove. It's so inexpensive. I have look at this. I have one of these that take the gas bottle that you screw on. That's universal, And so it takes a universal. Look at this one, universal gas bottle that gets. Ooh, this one actually takes fuel. What is this? It
Yeah.
actually takes fluid, liquid fuel,
Yeah, that's the thing, Mike, is that
unleaded
there are
gasoline.
different machines. That's right. So there are different machines that use different sources of energy or different, what do you call these, fuel types, if you like, and so when you have one available, you'll save on the others. You just use the one that's available.
How the heck
And when
does this work
electricity
on
comes,
unleaded gasoline?
yeah, there's everything. Cars run on everything in Syria. You know, They'll use anything to fire up these things. These days, people in Syria, they go fill up their tanks at the gas station. They take their weapons with them.
Nice.
Yeah. Even I have not so distant relatives who have to do that, and these are like normal families like you and me. No one, no one weird or anything like that. It's just risky. That's the issue. These are the big issues happening. Yeah. What to say?
All right.
Anyway.
So this is the stove, guys. You see that little? This is the one I'm talking about, where you plug in these green bottles to them. These 3 bottles could last you maybe a month or 2. You could, the gas could go on it for a good while. I've used one of those green bottles once for almost a whole entire summer. So, I mean, it's cheap. Gas is cheap, and natural gas like this. 10,000 BTU burners, electric start, no match-free ignition. Stuff like this always comes in handy, right? But I don't know. Preparedness is important, because I think financially, I don't think we're financially. I think there's going to be a massive financial correction coming, but it's going to be a different financial correction. It's not going to be the 2008 one. It's going to be a little bit different. And of course, governments are going to fight tooth and nail for continuity of government. And and they're going to actually do what they have to do to maintain continuity of government. So at all costs. So
you're saying, Mike, I'm good in Egypt, or should I
no, you're fine
run
in
to another
Egypt.
place?
You're fine. Just stay on high ground. You'll be fine. You got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. All right, Layla, I'm going to let you go. It was so nice talking to you. I got to send you a link later. I need you to check something out for me, okay?
Sure. Okay, thanks, Mike. Thanks, everyone. Take care now.
Take care, Layla. Bye.
Bye.
That is Layla filling in some time. Guys, I don't want people to be shy. I want people to start coming on the show. We got a lot of, people here commenting. We have the Raven, right? Raven's been on many times. He's contributed a lot of vital information to the show. We've had Dano. Dano's been on the show many times. We've had Lord Humongous on the show many times, right? We've had a lot of good people coming on. Anaki's been on many times. We've had... we need Bob Smithers to come on. I think he's been on, or he needs to come on. We need Papa Piss to come on. We need... who else? Who else do we need to come on here? DIY needs to come on. And the Raven... Raven's been on, sorry. I'm just trying to think who else is in... Carl Goldsmith. I think I need to get Carl Goldsmith on the show, too. We need to start to get more and more first-time callers. And, we have some good legends on the show, good legends, like definitely, the Raven, Layla, Supreme Cannon, lots of legendary guests that had been coming on that have donated their time to this channel, So when I get cut off, we all get cut off, right? And that's, it's concerning that we just can't talk about what the media is trying to sell us, right? I'm so grateful. I thought I was going to have less than 10 people watching me live tonight. I'm so grateful there's over 70 people watching on my live stream. I'm so grateful. It shows that we intertwine with each other. We don't all have to agree with each other, But we need to be able to be, there needs to be some sort of platform where we could bring our political demands, right? If there's some sort of political demand, a lot of the stuff we're talking about, okay, we're talking about financing tonight. We're talking about housing. We're talking about, shutting down economies. We're talking about indefinite border closures in Australia, indefinite this, indefinite that. Well, we're starting to mix, right? Conspiracy theory, huge stuff happening with finance. It's becoming one now. And a few years back, I think it was 3 years ago, someone said, I could see Mike in the Night, and it was called Trends in the Housing Market before, merging into one show. And that person that said that was 100% right on the money. Why were they right on the money? Because the housing has become a conspiracy now. The Fed's become a conspiracy. The blatant money laundering's become a conspiracy now. It's everything is now like becoming one. Right? Grand Rising is saying, oh, wow, Layla, did you live in Canada for a while? Where did you go to school? You seem to know a lot. I was guessing your age. Your voice sounds young. Your information, so much. Your information, you know so much or something. So who is saying here, TJAH, you can't leave Canada without the jab? I'm pretty sure you could leave. It's the Europeans. It's I keep saying this, and I've been saying this for years. The amount of Europeans buying one-way tickets back to Europe is phenomenal. We got to call Stel. We got to get Stel on Mike in the Night because he moved to was it Cyprus? I know he moved back to Greece, but he really wanted. He was getting all his ducks in a row to get out of Canada. So we got a lot of people commenting, which is really nice to see. And, I really want to, because Stephen Thomas is not answering. I just want to know, he's in Melbourne. I need to know, Melbourne, Australia. I need to know what he knows about this indefinite border closures in Australia. They talked about it about 2 months ago. They brought it back up a month ago. Then they brought it up again last week. And then they're bringing it up again on the radio there in New South Wales, where they want indefinite border closures, and they're not, and they're kind of trying to address it on their climate change. And then we're talking finance, but we're talking conspiracy, because back in the day we talk about oil and gold. Now, there's just so much BS around everything with market manipulation. Oh, that's a conspiracy. Oh, they've been spoofing gold. Oh, that's a conspiracy. Oh, silver's been spoofed. Oh, that's a conspiracy. It's like, how can you not have a financial discussion without talking about the BS that's happening alongside with it? Guys, it's hot. Daniel's got a good point here. I think there will be good businesses for Coyotes for getting Canadians into the USA. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting really bad. And then, let's go over some of the main stories we talked about tonight. Got some good stuff we talked about tonight here. Now, one good question is, how are they going to hide the inflation? You can't hide it under there, right? You can't hide it over here. So there it is right there. Look at this. Unbelievable Sydney homes going for millions of dollars. So we talked about Chuck Norris's. Did I close that thing? I think I closed that picture of, yeah, here it is. So now I need you guys to tell me in the comments below if you're watching this on replay. Would you get this home for millions of dollars? In Australia, it's or buy this. I think it sold for $800,000. I think it's settled for $800,000. Or buy this, Chuck Norris's house, and know that Chuck Norris lived here. It's like I'm in Chuck Norris's house, and I bought it because I refused to buy this for millions of dollars. So McAfee, another one big entrepreneur, gone. Apparently died in a Spanish prison. So we'll talk about more about that on Mike in the Night, hopefully, if this channel doesn't get cut off. Inflation could be a problem for Canadians' economy. So what is the deal with them now bringing in something we already knew about? Why are they making it public like this? Are they getting us ready for preparedness, for some sort of be prepared because we warned you? 1,600,000 positions sit empty, says Bank of Montreal. I found that really hard to believe. Just like Layla said. Australia's state pockets windfall from Sydney housing boom. So listen to this. They made $9.4 billion in taxes sold on homes. I don't know many Australians that could afford to buy a home in this condition, especially with a lot of them on JobKeeper or like support from the government because they lost their job. Oh, Kevin just found the new channel. Thank God he's here. Okay, here we go. Houses in the U.S. cost 13.2% more in March 2021 than the same time last year. So, I mean, with all the shutdowns and all this stuff, why, again, it's all tied to fleeing capital flows. Rising interest rates will be number one issue for Canadians' housing market. Now, why are they so? Well, because this in Canada is millions of dollars in Canada. This thing. This millions. In Australia, New Zealand, this is millions of dollars. This, Chuck Norris's house, I think it settled for $800,000. I think it was on sale for $1.2 million, and then I think he ended up selling it for $800,000 or $940,000, just under $1 million. And I think this house came fully furnished too. So, like, you see what I'm talking about? It's like this is not working out anymore. This whole thing is not working out. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to warn us or so there it is. Housing going up in the United States, rising interest rates again, warning about it in Canada. Housing market will be the first casualty of higher interest rates, says former Bank of Canada economist. Again, why are they raising the red flag all of a sudden? Why weren't they raising the red flag in 2010 after the Olympics in Vancouver when housing was already 8 to 13 times the annual income of the upper average wage earner that couldn't afford to live in Vancouver in 2010? It's 2021. We're going into 2022 in 6 months, and they're finally saying something about this? All right. Housing market gone berserk stirs unease over investors' clout. Housing at premium high in South Florida. Amazon to invest in Canada's largest solar farm in race for sustainability. Fed officials say temporary inflation surge may last longer than thought. So inflation is a big deal. What did they do? They get the COVID variant ball juice to cover it? Like, what could they do? Like, again, remove zeros off your currency. So you have $100 is 10 now. So it brings down the price. You see what I'm saying? Do we destroy currency? I have an idea. Let's just raise the damn interest rates. We created this Frankenstein monster, like I said. We made this video years ago. We created a Frankenstein monster, and it's been terrorizing the towns, and people are having to flee. People are scared, and people don't know what to do. And we created this Frankenstein monster, and these are these artificially low interest rates. It's left major cities into empty shells, and it's made homeowners on paper wealthy overnight, and it's destroyed the fabric of Western countries. Australia's destroyed. Canada's destroyed when it comes to the fabric of what it means to be an Australian or a Canadian or a British citizen. It's all the way. It's all about money, 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 and bidding for the highest bidders, investing in higher bidders. Right. Inflation overshoot has Bank of Canada weighing mandate tweaks. So they're going to have to tweak. What are we talking about? Are we going to raise rates? Why is this front and center all of a sudden? Usually when you turn on anything about Canada, it's just Covalina, Covista. It's all this stuff, Delta, balls, all this stuff. But now, why are they weighing in? Why are they weighing on this now? And there's the tent city there in Bellwoods Trinity Park. And protesters scuffle with police, homeless encampment in Toronto. And I don't know. Oh, that's the Texas Walker Ranger House. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, we're in a position right now where we got to be very careful. And I just want people to hear each other out is all I'm asking. I'm not talking about going out and starting to tell people, oh, did you hear this? Or you knew, what are you doing this? Or the day of converting people or trying to make people understand or wake up, it's over. The day of waking people up and telling them to prep and this, it's done. You can't, you go out there, you're labeled as a quack, a kook, all kinds of stuff. The people that are waking up to this, hallelujah, thank you, you're understanding what's in play. But the people that you're trying to wake up and all they do is go around your back and talk BS about you, you know, I mean, yeah. Yep. When the corrupt system gives you lemons to make lemonade. Cliff High said next month is the month of panic. Well, we're 5 weeks out. I don't know who Cliff High is, but we're 5 weeks out. This will separate people deeply. Yeah, and that's why I'm urging and I'm begging you folks, people that are watching this, I'm begging you guys to, even if you're living in the same household or you have some differences, it's fine to have differences. It's what makes us human. Dr. Sam Bailey, Mike, please interview. I mean, I don't mind interviewing people, right? I don't mind. I've had a lot of people on this channel from all kinds of channels coming on here. Well, on the other bigger, well, I don't want to say it's a big channel, but the other channel, right? Blunt News is here. Yeah. Blunt News is in the house. Thanks. I want to thank everybody for all the Discord contributions they've been making. We have a Bitcoin section for people that just want to talk about Bitcoin. We got Let's Make the World Better section. And we have a Mike. It's called Mike in the Night. You just post whatever you want. And so the Raven saying that his workplace is poisoned. And very concerning. I just, you know, it's how can you not talk about the BS that's happening in a conspiracy level when you're trying to interject with finance? And the person that said that 3 years ago that said, Mike, I see your Mike in the Night and your trends in the housing market merging into one show. Who would have thought that housing would have been a conspiracy? Money laundering, billions of dollars, a conspiracy. All kinds of stuff, a conspiracy. Who would have thought that talking about someone's, financial portfolio, what they're buying, a conspiracy? That they're going to start selling us, finance. We're talking finance. Well, what's new to invest in? Let's invest in Plantaroni. Plantaroni is a good substitute to Plantaroni is a great substitute to pepperoni. Every time I call for a pizza, they ask me if I want plantaroni. So how can we not talk finance without talking about universal basic income, without talking about rigged elections, without talking about this? All is basically it's the destruction of not even the middle class. The upper middle class is in for a rude awakening. The poor, the dirt poor, the people that are poor, the people that work hard, or people that really work, they've always been poor. So, you know, it's the middle class. The millionaires and the billionaires and trillionaires, they can lose half their wealth. They'll still survive. They'll find a meal somewhere. It's just the middle class that funds the millionaires, that pays the taxes, that actually funds the infrastructure. You know? What about the continuity of government if we don't have enough people, you know? Kevin is asking, call Dr. Mysterio. I will call him. I'm going to try calling him, Kevin, on Mike in the Night, because I know he's in a plane. I know he's flying right now. So he's on one of his private planes. I know he's in a plane right now. So I can't contact. I know he told me the other day that he was going to be flying to an undisclosed location. Yeah, business ventures, guys. I'm thinking this could be an opportunity because I'm thinking this may be an opportunity for people to start finding distributors and selling from home. I honestly, wholeheartedly think you guys may find opportunity if you could manage your space at home, and you could start to actually maybe find a few distribution companies of what you like to do and start distributing from your home. You have no overhead. Your overhead is your rent, which you're already going to pay to live. Start something from home and selling online. Look at this website I made. Look at this, guys. I can't even read, okay? And I made this website all by myself. I set up all the shipping. Well, let me find it here. So that's the Mike in the Night, guys. Here, that's Mike. I'm going to give you the link for Mike in the Night this Saturday. Don't forget to set your reminders. I'm going to put it right here for you guys. Okay, Mike in the Night this Saturday. So here it is here. Watch. Let's go here to my store. Oh, I'm in my search results. So someone was asking if I had this game, Doom Imperium for 2020. I have it. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's say you know things about shoes, or you know things about canes, or you know things about knives, or you know things about... See, I don't sell that stuff because I don't know that stuff. I know my board games. Right? I know my board games, my card games. I know my stuff, right? So I put a link here to my Magic singles here. Watch this, guys. Now I got Magic singles here, and I sell Magic cards. I've been selling Magic cards for almost 20 years now, right? And I put more of my collectibles on eBay. But the more mainstream stuff, I wouldn't say mainstream, but I would... where did that go? Just want to show you guys a little example here of what I mean here. So there it is right there. So you go to my board games, A to Z. I got about 600 games here. Maybe 700. And look how I did this. It's so simple. You break it down, D&D. So you go to RPGs. RPG books are here. Right? Yes, people are still playing D&D. People are probably wondering, what the heck? Yes, people still play D&D. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else here. I could show you guys how I did this. But it's very simple. The back end of the page is very simple. You create your little carousel. So if there's something you know how to do, or you have connection with somebody, let's say selling fidget spinners, then be a fidget spinner seller. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. I mean, people find you. Shopify promotes me on their dime. People come to my page, and, they see what I got, and they, make a decision like, ooh, look, a game on making wine. Wow, I could have my own vineyard, and this is a great board game. You know what I'm saying? And, presenting it and showing people how you do it and stuff. Oh, I love Lords of Waterdeep. If you ever come to my store, I'll teach you how to play this game. I have an open copy of it. I've played 3,000 times. Takes 45 minutes to play. It's the best work management game. You play this with your family, it's over. It's every time they want to play something like this. Whoa, wow, it's not electronics. It's, yeah. Unplug. But yeah, I think this may be an opportunity with more and more closures happening. I think my situation I'm in, I'm not paying expensive rent for my store. My product, I have a good landlady. She's not interested in selling for 20 years. And I got, use it as a storage facility for my stuff. And then I just sell online too, I mean, I'm at my store every day, but I see it as me using it as like that, right? So you need to start monopolizing. And I think with all these airline companies switching to cargo now, what these airline companies, you see WestJet and other companies looking at shipping cargo, it's because with the decimation of small businesses, you could easily run my business from your home if you have the space to put some of these board games. You could easily run this out of one big room in your home. Look how big my store is. It's not even big. Look. My store is one big room. See? You could easily run a small business out of your house if you could partition the space. Right? So, I really want, if you want to know how I did this, I have a series on my old channel that's been striked down for a week that basically talks about how to open a small business here. I'm gonna find that for you guys because that's a really nice series I made. That's a really, really nice series here. Let me go here. There's the other channel. Unfortunately, I can't live stream on it or do anything on it yet. So I got a week to go. But we're going to be live streaming on this one. So if there's something gets out of control, they could shut this channel down. That's fine. But the main one, I'll keep it maintaining it. So you go to playlists here. I really want you guys to watch this one here. Building our home in the Philippines. Where is it here? Where is it? Project Tabletop. And basically, my landlady sold her place, and this is the old drug den. So that's my old store. So basically, I have to convert this drug den. This is the old drug den here. And it was really bad. I mean, there was holes everywhere. It was all busted. So the video series is, I don't know, like 6 videos long. It's only 10 minutes of video. So if you want to watch, here's the link to it. It's called Project Tabletop. It is 9 episodes long. And I put a lot of time into making this for you guys. So I'm going to leave the link here if you guys want to watch that on the old channel. Go ahead. It's a nice series, and I want to leave it for my kids so when they get older, they could see what I did with the old drug den here. And this drug den was nuts. There was blood all over the carpets here. I found like 1,000 needles, and I just found a lot of junk in this place, and it was just incredible, the amount of damage on the walls. So if you guys want to watch that, yeah, I appreciate it if you guys want to take the time to watch that on the channel. Yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been almost 2 hours now. It's hot. I'm out of water, and I'm hot. It's like 40 degrees here, and I'm melting in my chair here. So, yeah, check out my online store, guys, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, check it out. I worked really hard putting this together. I worked really hard. You need to tell me if there's any problems when you try to order on it. Message me directly because it's new. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to try and ship it and do it properly for you guys. I know how to do eBay because I've been doing it for 3 years now. I'm over 4,000. I think I'm close to 4,000 items sold on eBay. I have no problems I have problems with, sometimes people lying about receiving something, but with this one, I'm not sure. I want to be more fluent in it. So I'm not going to purposely make a mistake, but I want to make sure I know what I'm doing here. So there's the link to it now if you guys want to get something. Open an OnlyFans and sell nudes. Extra. No, I don't need to open an OnlyFans. It was just the other day. It was just the other day I actually found out what OnlyFans. I never knew what it meant. I'm like, what the hell is OnlyFans? Like, what is that? And then I found out like 2 days ago what it meant. I'm like, oh, that. Why? Whoa. We got Margie in the house. Papa pissed. Yeah, even Papa Piss says, Mitch, I do a hybrid scheme, bit of cash, bit bit overboard win-win. So, yeah. Anyways, guys,
Woo!
we try to get Ricky Spanish on. He's on our Discord and then he disappears. So,
Tito Santana.
Mike in the Night's going to be good on this channel. I'm so happy we got 69 people watching now. I'm blessed to have you guys here, and Mitch Mann says, Lord, just bought a conversion van. My neighbor offered it at a price I couldn't afford not to accept. Okay, let's get some music playing here to wind it up.
Ooh, yeah.
Woo! Woo!
Commonwealth for common people. Going against the rules of hell. We're Commonwealth for common people. Through community.
Mike Martin's you and me.
So our enemies. Ricky
It's good to see Stephen Sewell in the comments. Good to see you, Stephen. Good to see some everyone's. We all find each other somehow, some way, eh? We all find a way to find each other. Stephen Sewell, TJH, CJ. Who else? Blunt News. Layla, Lord Humongous, Papa Pissed. Mike Banks is here. Mitch Madden, Margie's here. Shafi D is here. ArtByDano.com is here. Lord Humongous and Lord Humongous Tour. Don't forget to donate. The Raven in the house. Usual suspects in the show. Anna Key. DIY. Who else is here? We said Mitch Madden. Rugby fans in the house. I forgot to say hi to him. And then we got, let's not forget Kevin. We got Grand Rising in the house. Who else we got here? I hope I got everyone. I hope I got everybody. All right, folks. Now you know. Mike Martin's here, signing off. Please take care, and if you can't take care, please stay safe. I have spoken.